Hey everybody, what's up? Happy Tuesday. This is a new thing that we're doing. It's called, I don't know what it's called. It's Tuesday and it's live and it's for kid ministry, elementary age. And today my friend Miss Ashley was supposed to be here with me on this couch, but she's staying home and being safe with her family and we miss her so very much. I want to say a shout out to Jenna as well. They're my two ladies that lead in our elementary room every Sunday, and we're missing them so very much. So, here we are. We're finishing up this month about forgiveness, the do-it-yourself project of forgiveness. That's right, because forgiveness is do-it-yourself. It's a decision that you only have to make. No one can do it for you, but remember, even when you decide to forgive, you can't do it alone. We need God's help. Thankfully, He gives us the tools we need to forgive, like His strength, His power, and His love. You can forgive others because we remember how He forgives us. We have the best example of forgiveness in Jesus, and that is a huge reason to celebrate. So, get your family, get up on your feet, and begin to worship with us as we sing our monthly song, Lift My Voice. Here we go.
You are above every other. Your love amazes me. You created every beautiful color for everyone to see. I want the world to know. I want my life to show just what your love has done for me. In your love I'm free. In your love I'm forgiven. Forgiven. Your love, it makes me sing. Your love, it gives me a reason to lift my voice, yeah. I lift my voice, yeah. You are the giver of all things good and perfect. I give you all of my praise, God, 'cause only you deserve it. I want the world to know, I want my life to show just what your love has done for me. In your love I'm free, in your love I'm forgiven. Forgiven. Your love, it makes me sing, your love, it gives me a reason to lift my voice, yeah. I lift my voice, yeah. I sing and dance, I clap my hands, I lift my voice, I lift my voice. I sing and dance, I clap my hands, I lift my voice, I lift my voice. In your love I'm free, in your love I'm forgiven. Forgiven. Your love, it makes me sing, your love, it gives me a reason to lift my voice, yeah. I 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 lift my voice, yeah.
Great job, everyone. I love worshiping God with you guys, whether it's here in a seat on our couch at home or wherever we are. The great thing about God is He's with us wherever we go, and we can worship Him anywhere, no matter what. So, go ahead, if you're standing and you just did that little worship number with us, take a seat. Everyone get ready and comfy on your couch, and we're going to get ready for our Bible story.
Hey, party people! I'm Erica, and actually, I'm planning a party to celebrate fixing up my new apartment! All month long, we've been talking about forgiveness. Forgiveness is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. Forgiveness can clean up some pretty bad messes, which is exactly what I've been doing around this place. So before we get this party started, I'm going to show you one last do-it-yourself hack involving my new kitchen table. My friend Chris volunteered to help me move it into the apartment, which was great of him until the incident. It was Chris's idea to turn the table sideways to get it in the door. I told him it wouldn't work, but he did it anyways and broke one of the legs. So guess what? I was right and he was wrong. Now look at my table. Meh. So it was Chris's fault that I have to spend my whole afternoon showing you how to make a table more level. Thanks a lot, Chris. Guess who's not getting invited to the party now? It's you, Chris. Let's do this thing. Huh, that was pretty easy, actually. Let's check this out. Test 1. Test 2. Yay! Last but not least, test 3. Oh man, so pretty good. Don't think that lets you off the hook, Chris. You're still missing out on my party. Today's story is about a guy who wasn't so sure he wanted to party. My party's going to be great, by the way. We're going to have music and games and snacks. And although Chris would usually be the one to bring the snacks, plus he plays the best games and picks really good music. Ugh! If Chris isn't invited, maybe I'll be the one who misses out.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. And now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Luke, chapter 15, verses 21 through 32.
When Jesus wanted to share something important, he often told a story to explain what he meant. Now one day, the religious leaders were grumbling because Jesus chose to bring in outcasts and people who did things wrong.
He hangs out with sinners and even, eats with them.
Jesus knew their hearts. These men thought they were better than everyone else. So he told them the story of a man and his 2 sons. Now the youngest son asked for his share of his father's money, and he took off. He spent his money on parties and all other stuff. But then the money ran out, and he ended up at a miserable job feeding pigs, while he himself starved. Desperate, the young son returned home, planning on begging for mercy and working as a servant. Instead, his father welcomed him with open arms and even planned a party for his lost son in his honor. Ultimately, it seemed like a happy ending. But Jesus wasn't finished with the story yet.
The older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing.
If Jesus were to tell that story to us today, it might sound something like this. The older brother, let's call him Will. He spent the entire day working hard, perhaps plowing up the packed dirt on a brand new field.
Come on, Bessie. Just one more row. Gotta finish before the light goes.
As the sun slipped behind the hill, Will finished breaking the dirt on his last long row.
I just need some water and a quiet meal and bed.
Will trudged slowly back to the house and left Bessie in the barn with a bag of oats.
If my slacker brother hadn't run off, I wouldn't have to work so hard.
As Will neared the house, he was surprised to see the lights blazing from every window.
What is going on?
Will stopped, trying to make sense of all the activity and the music. Then, the back door opened. One of the servants stepped outside to throw out a bowl of scrap. Then she turned to go back inside.
Wait.
The servant paused.
What's happening?
It's just the party for your brother.
The what for my what?
You haven't heard? Your brother showed up this afternoon. Your dad had the fattest calf killed and roasted to celebrate. He is so thankful Jake's safe.
A party? My dad is throwing a party?
I'll let the family know you're back.
What? No. I am not coming in.
The servant wrinkled her nose.
Whew. You want someone to run you a bath first?
Leave me alone.
The servant hurried back inside. Will paced as his exhaustion vanished and anger coursed through his veins.
I work all day. Every day. Has Dad ever thrown a party for me?
Will stalked back and forth, fuming as the back door opened up again. His father hurried out.
Will, here you are.
Well, look at that. You decided to remember I exist.
Your brother is back. He's okay.
Well, that is just fantastic.
We're all celebrating, but it's not complete without you. Come on inside.
Will turned and looked directly at his father, eyes blazing.
All these years, I've worked non-stop for you. I've done every single thing you asked, and you never even given me a goat to have a party with my friends.
You never said you wanted.
This son of yours runs away with your money and wastes it like a fool. Then he shows up and you roast a fatted calf and throw a giant shindig.
Will's father sighed, took a deep breath, and looked Will directly in the face.
My son, you are always with me. Everything I have is yours, but we had to celebrate and be glad. This brother of yours was dead for all we knew. And now he's alive again. He was lost, and now he is found.
Look, I'm real tired. I plowed the entire north field.
Thank you.
I think I'll just go to bed.
Won't you come into the party? Just for a few minutes.
Will hesitated. He could see the people through the window, dancing, eating, full of joy. The light and the music called them.
Please, Will.
We don't know if the older brother ever listened to his father. We don't know if he ever forgave his younger brother. We don't know if he chose to go and enjoy the party. But what we do know is that if he stayed outside, he missed out on many good things.
The older brother in Jesus' story totally missed out. Being right was way more important to him than repairing the relationships with his father and brother. The father, on the other hand, forgave his son and threw a big party! Forgiveness is something we should celebrate. Think about it. In the beginning, God decorated for the biggest party ever when he made paradise for his people. But over time, people got further and further and further away from paradise. So, God sent Jesus. Because of what Jesus did for us, we can be forgiven. Jesus even said that when someone turns to God, there's great joy in heaven. Maybe like a party! When you forgive someone in your heart, that's worth celebrating. I mean, forgiveness can save relationships. It can even make someone else feel like they matter. And forgiveness can take the weight off your shoulders too. But when you hold grudges and you don't forgive, you can miss out on all that stuff. That's why the one thing to remember today is this. When you don't forgive, you miss out. So, of course, I'm going to forgive my friend Chris for breaking my table even though I was right and he was wrong. I don't want to miss out on our party. And I definitely don't want to miss out on our friendship. That's way more important to me than being right. Well, that's all for now. I've got to go get ready for a party. See you around.
All right, it's great to be forgiven, but it's also great and feels great to forgive others. And God wants us to experience the joy that comes from offering forgiveness. He wants us to forgive so we can fix any of our relationships that might be broken. Our bottom line this week is when you don't forgive, you miss out. Why don't you say it with me? When you don't forgive, you miss out. It's not easy to forgive, but God can help us. Let's ask him to help us now. Will you pray with me? Dear God, thank you for showing us how to forgive. Jesus taught us that forgiveness looks like, and he showed us when he died on the cross. Even though we have Jesus' example, it's not easy to ask for us to forgive. Please help us to choose how to forgive so we don't miss out on all the great gifts you want us to give. You want to give us. We love you and we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Awesome. So that is our weekly lesson. For parents who are with us and joining their kids, just to let you know that if you want to take the time and use the packet you may have picked up on Thursday at our packet pickup, or you can download all of our forms and lessons on our Crossroads app. So feel free to do that as well and utilize the curriculum this week, throughout your week, to continue to bring home the message of forgiveness. Also, another thing to think about is Studio252.tv is a great place to go online for your kids to watch videos and to read the Bible story that was this week about the older brother and the prodigal son. It also has some great what things you can do. In your packet this week, there was a recipe for a 60-second cake. Why don't you go ahead and plan a time this week where you can celebrate forgiveness, who you've forgiven and who you need to forgive, and enjoy and bring everyone to the party. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.